Alright, so this is a video I'm making for Christmas for my mom. I got you, or I guess I homemade you a candle making kit, but I'm going to put this on YouTube so that she can see this video and follow along in the candle making process. And with me on YouTube, I guess you get to see it as well. So hope you enjoy. This one's for you, Mom. So in your kit, it's going to look just like this. There are some wicks, some containers, some lavender and sage oil, and then some wax. This is for you, and I have my own. So I'm going to use that. So we kind of just went through all you need. So I got my wicks. Other things you're going to need are possibly a calculator. Otherwise, you can just do it by smell and some general measurements I'm going to show you. A heavy pot. I guess you could use a pan, like a deeper pan too, but a heavy pot. Something with thick so that kind of heats evenly. If you're using a gas stove, you can probably use something a little thinner, or just heat it a little bit more slowly so you don't get hot spots and risk burning your oil and or the wax while you're making this. And then you can also use a scale. Well, you'll probably, it'd be best to use a scale, but like I said, you can just do it by smell. So I guess we'll get started. I got my wax down here. There's different types of wax. They melt a little bit different. I don't really know exactly which kind this is from Hobby Lobby. The kind I got over there, I think, is better for the container candles. This doesn't seem to melt as well. So I usually have to do 2 wicks, where in a container where you only have to use 1. I got my containers here. This one with the spoon already had some in it, and then this is just a wine bottle I cut down. Also, what I like to do for containers is buy these little yogurts, and then save the container, and then make candles in them. And then you'll need your little drink. Alright, but we'll get started. So, it's really easy. Got your wax, your pot on the scale, and tear it out. In general, with your containers, most of the time it'll say a weight on it, and that's like water weight. And the wax is a lower density, so let's say this one is 10 ounces. Let's say I only wanted to fill it up 3/4 of the way. I'd do 8 ounces. And then to start off, I'd multiply that by 0.8 because, like I said, the wax is a little bit lighter or less dense. It takes up more space. So that 10 for that 8 times 0.8 is going to be 6.4. 6.4. So I weigh out that, and that's how much wax you were going to use to fill this up. To start with, you're going to want to start with less, not make extra, because then you're just going to waste that wax, or you're going to have to add another oil. But in general, you can just take your container, and there's a little wax in there, but take your container, fill it up twice, and pour it in. And that's going to give you a pretty good starting point. Maybe there might be a little bit extra in there, I don't know. And right there, I'm at, look at that, I'm at exactly 6.4, so I guess I got lucky there. Then I got this other one. See, I don't even know how much is in there. So I fill it up once. Twice. Pour it in. And there's my wax weight. Alright. So right now my wax weighs, and I don't know if the camera's going to be able to see this, but it weighs, let's say 13 ounces. Oh, yeah, 13 ounces, just round up. And I want enough oil so that I'm at about 5% weight. So I'm just going to multiply that 13 by 5% or 0.05 to get that 5%. That's going to be a little off just for the math of it. So, but it's just easier to do it where you do the wax weight times whatever you want your oil percentage to be close to, and then that's good enough. So I got 13 times 5 equals 0.65 ounces. So that's what I'm going to use. So both of these, I got lucky again. Each one of these is about 1/3 of an ounce. So I'm going to use that. So 1/3 plus 1/4, around that 0.65. I'm just going to use both of these. I'm doing peppermint because that's what I have on hand. So right now we're going to go over to the stove, get this started melting. Then I'm going to put these in after I have the wax all melted so that I don't accidentally burn this oil. Alright. I am over at the stove now. And I'm going to get this starting to heat. I got it on medium heat. See, it's on there. Turning on, getting started. I'm gonna go and get my spoon. And this is you're gonna wanna, the thinner your pan is, or pot, more you're going to want to stir. There's some videos out there that suggest, or guides that suggest using a double boiler, so a pot of boiling water with another pot inside it with your wax. So I'd have a big pot here with boiling water and I'd set this in there, but that's just a pain in the butt. And this works just as well. That's on medium. And once it starts to melt, it's going to melt pretty quick. I can see a little bit of melting on the bottom there. Starting. Wicks over here, containers.
ready. Alright, so most of this is melted by now. Some of those bigger chunks that kind of formed while it was melting might take a little bit longer. But I'm going to lower the heat now. Just so it doesn't get out of hand. That will continue to melt. And what I'm going to do here is get my wicks ready. So I'm just going to use chopsticks here. And you'll see what I'm going to do. So hopefully the camera can see this. I'm going to put it right here so the camera can see. But I'm going to have my chopsticks like this, and I'm going to take my wick, and I'm going to do 2 wicks in these because, like I said, these aren't melting very well. And then I would use a toothpick for this, but I'm not able to reach it with where the camera is right now. But what I'm going to do is get that chopstick there. Dab some wax on it in the spots where I want it the wicks to be, and I'm going to fuse those wicks to the chopstick so that I have a place to hold, or something to hold my wicks in place so that they don't sag down. But for the oil, now I have it all weighed out in here. If you probably don't have a scale that goes that low, but I do, so I measured it. But in general, 1/6 of an ounce of a fluid ounce, which is an ounce of water, is 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon is 1/6 of an ounce. We needed 0.65 ounces. So we would be using around 4 teaspoons of that oil to get that 0.65 ounces, which when I poured it out, it is, you can't really see that, but it's almost right on the money. Now I'm just going to pour that in there and mix it up. And you're going to smell it right away. It's going to smell great. Mix it up, and then I'm ready to pour. And now I'm just going to pour the wax in the molds, or the containers, and we set the wicks and then let them harden. That was a pretty terrible pour. Spoon worked better. That is a mess. That's okay though. We got our candles there, our containers with the hot wax, and we got our wicks, and we're just gonna set those in and leave them for a few hours. spill them. They make even more of a mess. Alright, this is what we're left with. At the end of it all, took about 40 minutes to cool. But you're gonna wanna let them cool on the counter like that for the 40 minutes. The first time I made candles, I cooled them in the freezer and I had cracks in my wax when I was done, which just doesn't look as good. So you're just wanna take the time, cool them right. You see I took the chopsticks off the wicks and clipped back the wicks on this one because they're pretty long. So this is what we're left with. 2 perfectly good candles. They smell pretty good. That's pretty much it in all. We're really only working for about maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then cooling time was about 40 minutes, and this is what we're left with. So thank you, hope you enjoyed.